This Be More Lifestyle segment is sponsored by Maryland Department of Health.
Nicotine addiction can have serious consequences to your health, not just from tobacco, but from vaping as well. Now, research shows that it often takes multiple attempts to quit in order to beat this addiction. So joining us today is Dr. Panagis Galiasetos, director of the Tobacco Treatment Clinic at Johns Hopkins. Now, welcome. I know our viewers always hear a lot about vaping and smoking and COVID-19. Does it increase your risk of getting COVID-19?
So, great question. And first, I always like to answer it in two fashions. Does it increase your risk of catching the virus? No, that usually results in face masking, physical distance, and so forth. But does it give yourself an ability to develop COVID-19, and more specifically, the one that concerns us, more severe cases?
Okay.
And the answer is yes. You know, we've seen countless studies coming out throughout the world globally of these great observations where they're looking to see what pre-existing conditions kind of set people up or if they get the virus to develop severe COVID-19. And we have seen that if you put things in your lungs that isn't air, right? So combustible cigarettes or vaping, you're setting yourself up for more severe consequences of COVID-19.
All right, great advice. Now, do you have any concerns about the alarming rates of vaping among teens and young adults?
I do strongly. We saw such great success over the last 2 decades in the 21st century of driving youth usage of tobacco products low, the lowest they've ever been in probably close to 100 years. And now with the introduction of electronic cigarettes, we saw an epidemic in youth usage of electronic cigarettes. So this is highly concerning because these products are new. We don't know their long-term consequences. A lot of this kind of feels like 100 years ago where no one knew the long-term consequences of combustible cigarettes. Then in the 40s and 50s, lo and behold, we realized they were causing lung cancer and a variety of other dire health consequences. So I am very fearful. And I think, if it's not air, it's going to impact your lungs. And my fear is we're going to rob this generation of health potential unless we combat it effectively now.
All right, makes sense. Any advice or tips that you have for anybody who was interested in quitting tobacco products?
Again, the biggest one is find yourself a healthcare professional and family and friends that can approach us with encouragement, with no judgment, no stigma, and be behind you. Quitting tobacco is one of the hardest things people will ever do, whether it's a combustible cigarette or electronic. So find yourself an environment of supportive individuals to help you. And that may take counseling, therapy, even sometimes FDA-approved medications, ultimately to become smoke-free. So that's what I would do first, surround yourself with that amazing group of individuals so you can feel supported. And then ultimately, have smoke in the background, right? It's no longer part of your identity, your life, and you can move forward and achieve that health potential that you want to.
All right, all the information there available on the bottom of our screen. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Galiasetos.
Thank you for having me.